rotates. So when we're looking for this, scooping of the head is always a good option, right? So if I can get the head to like lift, it creates a lot of space there. So I typically do that by causing this like misalignment and then picking it up. I don't kind of just do this. I think this is limiting, and people kind of, if you resist, it's pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
But if I do this, can you resist really well, right? And I've been pretty lazy with that, as you can feel.
Yeah.
Right, so it makes it pretty hard to resist. This, like, under the head motion, this is best for when I want to keep both of us to the floor, right? If I want us to be moving, I want to be using this, like, pressing pattern with my hand to the floor, if that makes sense. Or whether or not it's fist or hand, that's, like, how I cause that kind of fulcrum, if that makes sense. And then, I think another thing that's pretty much neglected is the space in between the elbows. So I'm only ever going to go for a triangle if I'm underneath one of these elbows. That means when I'm walking up like this, one of my knees is underneath, right? If I can get this wing fashion to happen, then I can make anything happen, right? Because like what's happening right now, you see how I'm able to scoot you up, and this elbow is now off the ground. Does that make sense? So those are the things that I'm looking for. So here, even if I'm just like this and I have one underneath, then I can work my way up. You feel how that was easy to slide over?
Yeah.
Right? So one of my knees has to be tucked underneath your elbow. Preferably both, right? Because both means I get to shimmy up into like high mount, right? And that's where it's going to be an easier transition for any kind of attack to the upward position, right? So if I'm here, I'm going to get both in there, and I just do this. That's a much easier position for me to attack, right? Because if I want to get over your shoulder, where am I? Right? If I want to get under your shoulder, where am I? So like, if I can get both underneath, this is a win, right? From mount, you should always be trying to pull these elbows anyway. So even if I come here and I'm getting to this aspect, I'm looking for some type of elbow control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, so just like how we do the Kimura and everything like that, I'm looking for one instant of this. Now, conjoin that with the head. Where are we going? Right, this is an easy arm triangle, right?
Right.
Now, I'm setting up for an arm triangle, right? But it doesn't mean I can't do the other stuff. Or doesn't mean I can't do the other stuff. But we'll just go over some, again, very basic. We're gonna go hand, kind of pivot the head, ride up, right into that, like, crook into their thing. And like from here, my hand should be busy and employed, causing this, and scoop the far side elbow. And then grab their tricep, whatever you want to call it, and kind of punch your hand to the floor. Does that make sense? All right, I'm trying to be gentle about it.
Yeah,
But you see how it causes that turn?
Yeah.
All right, so we want that kind of like half rotation. And then I'm going to shimmy up. Right, and then I'm going to replace my, yeah, but I'm not like going to sit down. I'm just going to kind of like lean forward and get deep. And I don't lock my feet. I just kind of put my feet together and, you know, do the thing, right? A lot of people think that you need to like lock your feet together, and I actually think this is less tight.
Yep.
I think that just putting my knee here and being able to push them together is far more powerful than being at this angle and being able to try to squeeze like this. I think that has less power, right? And a big teller of this is how I can cover this elbow, right? Because you see how once I covered this elbow back to your center line, that's where the real choke happens. As long as this doesn't leave, this is easy choke. Does that make sense? Okay. Show one more time, please. Cause the misalignment. Walk it up, right? And then here, I'm gonna either try to scoop an elbow, or I'm just gonna kind of push and then scoop as the elbow. Getting the person on the side, and you see how I walk up? And I can put my knee literally like behind your head.
Yeah.
Right? Then I'm going to connect my arm, and if I want, obviously we have those kinds of things. You can also just kind of finish right here too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, assuming you don't want to finish right there, just kind of ride them down to where your shin is on the mat. You can just kind of lay on people, or extend the root. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
You ready to give it a try?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So like, it gets tight because I'm like sitting down, right?
Yeah.
Like it's that child pose extension. So when we're coming, right, we go, boom, right, and hike this up. You see how I'm already like in this like low body positioning?
Yeah.
So now, when I'm here, right, you see how like my legs are already ready to come up, but my hips are not in the right spot.
Right.
Right, so my knee actually needs to come behind your head.
Yeah.
Right, so when we're here, like so, this is when I'm gonna start to pivot, right? When I start to get this like upward angle here, I'm gonna start to pivot up. Does that make sense? You see how now my knee is behind you.
Yeah.
Right? And now when I connect like so, it's gonna make it easy for me to get that arm across too.
Mm-hmm.
You see how that was all one motion?
Yeah.
Right? So now that I'm here, now I'm gonna do that child's pose kind of thing. Right? But here, you feel how like there's a lot of gaps still?
Yeah.
Right? That's what this leg is gonna do. You see how it covers that shoulder?
Yep.
So I'm gonna cover that shoulder, right? Easy squeeze.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring this one up farther. But I also want to get it down to the ground.
Mm-hmm. No.
I'm sitting back.
Just connect your feet right now. Like you would for a triangle.
Yep.
Now, I want you to put both knees on the floor.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So, you see how you're in this position? Now disconnect your feet.
Yeah, they are.
Alright, now do the same positioning. Not with your feet connected, right?
Right. No.
Alright, now I want you to go into child's pose. Okay. So you get to skip a step.
Yeah, you're just knee, and then sit.
So I want you to try to connect your feet on me. We skip that step because I actually think it gives people too much of an avenue to escape.
Yeah, because you have to release pressure for a second.
Alright, so we're gonna go here. Alright, we're gonna do the thing. Boom. Alright, see how I'm here? And I connect, right? And I come straight into this. Alright. Do you feel like you can escape at any point here? No, right? But I never locked up my legs at all, did I?
No.
What did I do? I just kept the shoulder trapped.
Yeah.
Right, and I did the triangle shoulder. So I closed off this side, and this side wasn't able to expand. Right, so then just slow darkness. That's That's it, right? Now, why does it work? I didn't extend or anything, right?
Right.
I just kept the top control pressure like this.
For the same reason that the head and arm works.
Exactly, right? Now, we can do this a ton of ways, but what we're doing right now is the mounted trunk, right? Assuming that I get anything of this fashion, right? If I can simply hook and drop my body weight, like so, you think I can finish this?
Yep.
Right? But this is just this. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Right? So we're doing the same thing, right? But why does it work? Because there's top pressure on your shoulder,
Yep.
right? All I did was hook in. So like, I'm gonna have you really take. Actually, I think we're still recording. I'm gonna make sure.
I think so.
We are still recording. Perfect. All right. Sorry, I know that that's just a little weird, but like, it's an easy choke, isn't it?
Yeah. Shoulder.
But people don't realize that you can do the same thing right here, right? If I get something of this fashion, right, and I walk over, this is a choke, right? If you can keep that top pressure down, same thing, right? Now, that's just using this collar to replace my leg
Right.
or an arm, right? If my arm's in there, same thing, right? We know what this is, we've seen this. All we're doing is that same exact fashion, but now we're putting a leg in there because our legs are far more powerful,
Yeah.
right? But we're not gonna lock it. I don't ever lock this, do I? Right? So if I was like this, I'm closing this, but I don't need to lock my hands, do I? I just need to start punching.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna do a slight variation of what we were just talking about. But what we're gonna do is I want you to take your mount. Right, I'm in mount, so what are you gonna do? Okay, so you got your elbows in. Right, as soon as you did that, right, what did I do?
Get your hand behind the head. Start
You see
sliding
how I
the leg in.
slide that leg? I'm actually gonna take this over the top of this one now. Right,
Okay.
does that make sense? I'm going to pick this one up the same way I did the other one. Right? Same kind of walk around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you see how this one was different because you're defending, right?
Yeah.
And your elbows are nice and pinched and tight, right? And as soon as I did this, it made this easy, right? And you see how I can cover this shoulder with my elbow?
Yeah, that makes a
Right?
big deal.
So I cover this shoulder with my elbow. It makes that slide in super easy, right?
Yeah.
Keeping it lifted. Does that make sense? Okay. So one more time, please. You're gonna be here, you're defending, right? I'm just gonna take my hand, put it over here, cover that elbow, cover the shoulder, so I ride up that elbow, and here, I'm gonna pick the head up again. I can, like, both arms straight kind of thing, which does this, and then I'll scoop in, and I can either grab the elbow, go for whatever I want, right? Or I can just pull it in tight, go into that same kind of triangle. Make a sense. Cuckoo. All right, so I don't typically go for the triangle, so to speak. What I do go for is this like high positioning, right?
Yeah.
And then I work my way up. Once I'm up in this positioning, people oftentimes try to at least like fight into the positioning, right? And then I just kind of like lift my knee up. And you see how everyone wants to try to escape?
Yep.
But I'm going to control this arm when that happens, right? So I'm going to walk everything up, keep here, right? I'm going to open up. Does that make sense? See how instinctively you are like, I'm gonna try to turn, and I'm gonna try, and you feed it right into it.
Follow the back door.
Right, so I'm literally just gonna walk up. Same thing that I was doing earlier, right? Same kind of like hand posting, walking it up this way, get in that high guard, right? And I'm gonna control this leg, this arm, right? I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna, and then I do this, right? And then, shoo. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. You wanna give it a try?
Yep.
All the same prerequisites.
I'm just controlling this. Does it matter?
Keep it as the center as much as possible. Right.
Here.
Because what's this one? You see how I'm like wanting to turn sideways?
Yeah.
Right? Because you have that mirror lock and all that other kind of stuff. So no weight, right?
Right.
So like you're literally trying to keep it in the center as much as possible. You see how this arm is now dead?
Yeah.
It's my pivot point, right?
Yeah. I need to trap that.
So
on.
no, just go over it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm going here.
Yeah.
And then.
And then I'm like, oh no, right? And now if I try to flatten back out, right, you have that ability. No, this leg, right? Now you have that ability to shut it down. So keep that space. Now look that way. Push my arm. No, don't fall. We don't need to take the bottom position. We never take the bottom position, right? So now that we're here, that's an easy pushover, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no. And we go into the same kind of triangle we were doing. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Let's do it
I think
again.
that balance point is going to be a work.
Levers. How to get up. Get as center into the body as we can, right? You see how I'm now on my pivot point?
Yeah.
Now work it up, aka your guard. See how you're already over it,
Yeah.
right? Still the pivot point, so we can choose to look away and then come back. Look this way. Yep, see how easy that is?
I need to still shift this way though, yeah. Because I'm still sitting back in your chest. So if I go here.
Yeah, I just need to make sure
So can I see you?
that I rotate my hips.
So like instead of looking, I want you, instead of coming, right, and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna triangle this person, right? I'm gonna go whoosh, right? Instead of looking where I can like see your face, right? I wanna basically look, you see how this is like uncomfortable, I'm gonna take off the pressure.
Yeah.
I wanna look like I can look down someone's ear, not their face.
Okay.
Right? So if we imagine that I had my legs still like this, right, and I'm going to do this, what am I looking at?
Right.
In your ear, right? Now, I want you to keep going. Tell you the point of this, right? I will never make it this far, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I want you to basically be able to hug this side of his hip. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna come back. All over again. He says, God damn, why are you sitting on me?
Reverse.
Anyway, so we're here, right? Boom. Right? And then I'm gonna get him to come over just a little bit. Right? Get that pivot point. See how that's super easy?
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm just gonna transition. Now, right here, think how much I can rotate. That's shit, isn't it? Right? If I can get over here, that's powerful. I'm sorry, I tried to make it.
No, you're good.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Anyway, does that make sense? Now, if I put pressure, that's super easy, isn't it?
Yep.
So I want you to scoop that far hip as if you can.
Alright.
Because it's fun. You probably won't ever make it there, but
I can see why not. I've got you too much. Gift wrap's not really
No,
great here,
it's
or
fine.
gift wrap's fine.
It's okay. Put your head over on that side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. The season.
Yeah.
So, is that making sense so far?
Yeah.
Alright, now, arguably, I think that this variation can be hit from a number of positions, right?
Yeah.
Side control being one of them.
Yep.
Anytime that I can cause a faction where I can tee off on someone's top portion is when I can get these kind of like top mount triangles. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You'll see me most of the time do it from the back when I do these types of triangles though.
Okay.
AKA crucifix.
Yeah.
I view this in the same light. I just find it far more effective to fight from people's backs than I find it to fight from the front. And the crucifix, instead of being teed off on the top position, I'm teed off on the bottom position. Does that make sense? Now, I actually think the triangle's harder to finish, but you know, same. I prefer.
Your knees aren't touching the ground.
Partially. Also, my ability to like drop my weight, extend
Right.
people, etc. It's all different. But my ability to break people's limbs is greater,
Yeah.
and my ability to isolate someone's neck is better. My ability to contract both shoulder and neck together is a little weaker in that position, but my ability to do all the other things I believe is better overall. Does that make sense? Okay, so, oh yeah, by all means.
Waiting on a message.
Okay, so, yeah, Matt. So when you're here, you know how I was telling you about that whole hat.
Yeah.
Right? So I want you to, instead of looking at it like that, I want you to make them look away. Right? You're gonna take this shoulder, you're gonna drive it out like this, and you see how that causes almost the same thing, right? See how you're looking that way? Can you now look towards me? Right? You really can't, right? So this kind of crossface thing is actually doing what to your elbow on this side? This makes it light. I want you to like, resist. Right? Press on my hips and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be like this. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right? You see how I'm, again, trying to make you use that as your pivot point? See how I'm able to come in? Now, remind yourself that they are looking this way, so now you're gonna take that knee, and I'm gonna be nice about it, but you're just gonna push that knee, and then you're gonna do almost like a reverse triangle. Right? You see how I'm locking up the opposite leg? Does that make sense? Closing here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, now that I'm here, like so, I'm not gonna sit back, right? I'm going to scoop my own shit, right? And again, place my knee into the neck. Does that make sense? And then I'm gonna again walk, reverse triangle style. Does that make sense? Okay, so here, we're gonna trap it. We're gonna walk up this side, right? Just like so. I'm going to hook over, and I'm gonna get here, right? Once I'm here, you see that little micro adjustment?
Yep.
Where I roll, right? I'm taking my heel, and I'm basically touching my heel with my knee, and then I'm gonna come up onto this knee pressure-wise, and then I'm gonna sit back down. And then shh. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Note, triangles can happen from both sides as long as the prerequisites of closing this space are met. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'll pull this one up. And
Initially I was talking about something else, and then my brain was like, no, just do the reverse triangle.
yeah. And then
It's fine.
this way. And the knee goes this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then the adjustment.
I want people like mainly to look at how like we're using pivot points to get into triangles. Does that make sense?
Yeah. This one. This side. Still. I'm
Put it
not
on
trying to
top
get you
of
to
him.
get like this way.
No, try to put your hand on top of his shoulder. Just how you cross face someone.
Right.
What does it do to this elbow?
Right.
Because it drives me to this pivot point, right? So I want you to cross face me. Right. But you see how I'm still looking at you?
Yeah.
Take your elbow and drive my face that way.
Okay.
Right.
You're saying come in with the old dirty good.
What to do? See how that elbow becomes exposed, right?
Yeah.
Now we're just gonna walk up.
And then this is the leg coming over because this is the
Mm-hmm.
trap. This is a weird one. And I'm coming up over that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using this knee here. And then you said I need to make the adjustment.
As long as your knee ends up in between my neck, right, and my jaw. You see how it's a little high on my jaw right now?
Yeah.
Try to go in between this space, right? So like right there.
Here and here. And then I'm shifting forward and then sitting back. Like that?
Kind of, right? But you see how there's all this space?
Yeah.
Remember, close the space of the shoulder, right? How do we close the space of the shoulder? Put your chest onto it, right? And now sit back. That was pretty close, I guess. But...
Just slightly off.
So I want you're gonna shoot over, right? You're gonna be just like this.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna make that heel adjustment. Right here.
So
Right.
I'm keeping this one crossed under that other heel.
I don't
Or behind
understand.
it. It's behind it. It's not, I was trying to go in front of that other foot.
Oh, like this?
Yeah.
That will not work.
Yeah.
If you go in front of it, right, you're now doing this. Right? Which you can scissor choke the shit out of somebody.
Right.
You know me. I like a good scissor
Oh,
choke. But like, we're coming here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, see, I was going
Now-
the opposite.
You see how I can make that space smaller, lift them up, and go smaller?
Yeah.
Can I steal you again?
Yeah.
Alright. So, same kind of concept. Alright, we'll do this one. Boom. Build up. Right here, you feel how like this foot?
Yep.
But I'm gonna put it behind that heel. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right? And here, I'm gonna keep this. If I could grab my own shin, that's better. Does that make sense? Because I'm gonna come here, boom. Does that make sense? Where I can be able to now kind of like sit back and then extend together.
Yep.
Or be able to just like, if I put it in front, I want to put it on top of the head. Does that make sense? Because now it's on top of the head, right? This isn't going to be a choke. This is going to be a crank.
Yeah.
But I can always, you know, go. Does that make sense? But I don't do that. I put it behind my heel, right? Like so. Now, if you're trying to get this like figure four, you'll never get the choke, in my opinion.
Right. It's too
If
wide.
you do this, right, where my heel is covering my knee, does that feel like I could get this choke? Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yep. I see what you're saying. I think that's the problem. I think I was trying to put my foot in front.
Yeah, people who like are traditional and lock up the figure four, they're not gonna choke you. They might neck crank you there though. There's a lot of force.
Yeah, there's a lot of force there. grab my shin, it's all the better. Because I like, and this shoulder right here,
Mm-hmm.
am I just,
Drive your knee into my neck. That is where the choke's gonna come in.
okay. I gotcha. There.
Now, try to squeeze your knees together, basically. That was much closer. Now, I want you to do the child's pose while you do that. And squeeze your knees together. Also, that coughing has nothing to do with you. Because that was definitely a blood choke there, not an air choke.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's just me coughing.
It's that. So your knee doesn't have to be
It does. It has to be
on
right
the
here.
floor?
No, it does not have to be on the
No,
floor.
it doesn't have to be
It
on
has
the
to
floor, but
cover
it
the
makes it
neck.
tighter if it's on the floor. Is what I'm wondering.
Yes, because it's stable. It's no
Okay.
different. So like that's
That's
like.
what it felt like if I could get my
Can-
knee past my heel onto the floor.
Lay down for me. Which one has more force?
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like, if it's supported, it's gonna be a lot fucking harder for you to move it, and I'm pushing you into it. If it's floating, it's gonna have a little less, less
Right.
force behind it, but it doesn't need
Yeah.
a lot, and it's really just there to stop your blood flow.
Right.
The force should be coming from my body.
Yeah. Coming back.
Now, no, this is a reverse
Right.
type of triangle. We're doing our legs are wrong,
Right.
than like a traditional triangle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if we can do it the other way, better, right? But we can sometimes use this reverse triangle. Let's say I'm setting up for something else, right? And I'm like, I want this arm or something of
Yeah.
that nature, right? But like, then you start to defend this arm really well. Then I just feed over, and I'm like, cool. I'll just take this then. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like, I think that this like positioning, when people try to sit super far hard, like back to their back,
Yeah.
and you just feed your leg there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this like reverse triangle thing, I don't know if it's a reverse triangle. I think it's a backwards triangle, right? Because it's using your legs backwards.
But it's not inverted.
No, because inverted would imply that I was
Yeah,
not in the
that's-
same position.
yeah.
That I was on the bottom position and it was backwards.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Now, now you see this has all been about elbow control, really.
Yeah.
Okay. So the same thing that we're doing to do our key locks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You see how when you're in guard or in mount, what is your number one thing that you want to do?
Keep my elbows close.
Right? Which means I want to do what? I have the most effect again on your arms
Yeah.
when I use the wrist if your elbows are close. Right? If you're far away, right, I have the most effect on your elbows.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I'm looking here initially to gain control to your elbow. Now, I showed you that head positioning and shoulder pressure, right,
Yeah.
can offer these up, right?
Yep.
Another way is literally controlling wrist, right? So like, let's say I'm here, right, I feel the pressure on my hip, right, and I literally will take my hand, scoop, press it away. It is that simple, right? So let's say you're trying to put pressure and stuff like that, right? I'll scoop, press it away.
I hate that so much. It's ridiculous.
It's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? It's because you're putting the pressure.
Yeah.
Right? So like, push me off, right? I just take the pressure away. I didn't put pressure there, did I?
No.
And yeah, you're trying to resist it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So do it again. Right? Take the pressure.
Gets retarded. I hate it.
Right? I'll do it one-handed. Right? Go ahead. Kind of dumb, isn't it?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Okay, so what I'm looking for is literally the elbow, right? So we're, gosh, I look like a fucking gross person. Anyway, so they're gonna do the same thing, right? I'm gonna take that pressure off, push that arm, right? that causes that type of elbow exposure. Now, I don't care what the other hand does, right? Because I'm gonna just go over it.
Right.
Right, you're pressing on my hip. Whoop. Look who's over it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm just gonna try to shoot this arm up. Shoop. Triangle. They're all connected.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Easy peasy.
The other thing makes me angry. I hate physics.
The fact that
It's
the things I was teaching you
just
earlier
here,
are correct.
and then you're coming in here,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Press it to the floor.
boom,
It's so easy.
and then that makes me. And so, are you holding here, right? You're like got this under the head kind of grip,
Meh.
or it doesn't matter as long as I'm
Under the head is better,
And,
but sometimes you can crowd yourself.
uh,
So like, go over my leg. Go over, take your leg over my arm. Now replace your arm with my leg. Your leg. I swear, I know English. Maybe you shouldn't develop the same bad habits I have. Maybe you should lock your legs, but I don't like it.
I don't know. That flows super well though.
It does?
Like over the, like, cause even with that transition where you got the arm, it's for me. It's not like not losing that pressure. So you hear, with this position you get a lot, but nobody's worried because you're not gonna hit the Americano there, so they're not worried. But then you
Over.
skip this here, and they're worried about you getting this leg. Oh, you slide it in, and then shoot it back. But I mean, you're gonna take
It's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a smooth transition. See, and there's no, because the typical things you're worried about, you're not worried about until that's already locked in.
I remember.